Hotel Rwanda is a 2004 docudrama written and directed by Terry George and stars Don Cheadle, Sophia Okodeno, Joaquin Phoenix, and Nick Nolte. Let's take a look. Hey there guys, thank you for coming to Cinema Bear. This is Eric Ortiz, trying to do something different with the channel. I hope you like it, trying to simplify things over here. Before we begin, can you please do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button? I'd super appreciate it. And thank you for joining me for Memory Lane Monday, where in honor of the upcoming film One Life, we're going to take a look at Hotel Rwanda. In Hotel Rwanda, we find Don Cheadle playing a hotel manager during the Rwandan genocide, where we basically see the brutal Hutu militia trying to wipe out the entire Tutsi population. And in terms of story, that's as deep as I'll get, because this movie does a very good job at just illustrating pretty much the horrific situation that was happening during these events. And in terms of perspective, seeing everything through Don Cheadle's character, Paul, whose last name I'm not even going to try to pronounce, we just see him trying to hold it together during these times of crisis. And the movie does a very, very good job at just letting us know and kind of sense what he's going through and how through his leadership things are maintained, or the illusion of things being okay is maintained. In terms of directing, Terry George does a pretty good job here. I did notice that the movie did feel a little bit dated, now seeing it 20 years after it was initially released. Some of the scenes, the dramatic scenes, when they work, they really work. And some of the acting from the non-professional actors just doesn't hold up as well as it probably should hold up. But ultimately, I did really enjoy it. There was one section of the film that I kind of felt was just a bit much too much, where this dramatic event in the third act happens, and it's all for naught, because by the end of the event, things are pretty much exactly as they were before. So it doesn't really change anything, but it's there and it just kind of pads on the runtime. And in terms of runtime, the movie is slightly over 2 hours, which is overall really satisfactory for the amount of story that's here. But still, George holds it together very well, and I think having a little bit more money, maybe a little bit more time and a tighter script, it would have been a better overall directed film. That said, the performances by Cheadle and the rest of the cast are pretty extraordinary here. Cheadle in particular does just probably some of his best work ever. You can totally see that this guy would eventually become, one of the headliners of the MCU. For the supporting cast, I love Sophia's performance very much. Nick Nolte was really great. A young Joaquin Phoenix is here, and he just does this almost laid back performance as a photojournalist. The movie's gifted with a lot of talented actors, and they very much shine here. So I guess overall, I'd say the performances are a little bit above average, with an occasional stand-up performance by Cheadle and by Nolte. Before we rate this, guys, please make sure you come back for the next one we'll be looking at, which will be Kung Fu Panda 4. Thank you very much. And in terms of rating, I would definitely call Hotel Rwanda a very interesting film. It just doesn't hold up as well as I expected it to. A lot of the filmmaking techniques here are a little bit dated. You can tell that the movie, in terms of budget, it's kind of stretching it as much as it can. It's still worth watching. If you find it streaming, if you find it, like at on cable or whatever, give it a shot. It's worth your time. I just wish it was a little bit tighter, maybe 10 minutes shorter, and sometimes the tone of it could get a little bit too dark and suddenly shift to something very light. So that's my overall take on Hotel Rwanda. I enjoyed it. Again, it doesn't really hold up, but in the end, it's a movie that I think I'm glad it exists, and I'm glad it's out there for us to enjoy. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please come back next time. Take care.